Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, everybody. Welcome to TPIM SR Live. I'm your host, TruePowerIsMine. Oh, thank you, Most High. My knee is on fire, but my head's still in the game. You know, today we're going to talk about what you need to know, pretty much know. We're going to learn about Nibiru, the 10th planet, the bearded planet, the red planet, the home of the tears. Brother King, peace and power. Welcome to the show. You know, I posted a video on the main channel. It was called Satan's Seed. I had it out for it. I think I'll make it available to the public once again. Well, what had happened is I made it public, and then I started getting some strange activity, so I made it private. It's still on my channel, but I made it private. Oh, Nibiru. You know it, Brother David. Peace and power. Welcome to the show. So let me have a drink of water. I'm going to play the short video to kind of get things warmed up so we can start on down this fucking crazy track, but we are on it today. Let's start.
Honey, this is a Master Lee Mochow production.
I said it's a celebration. I believe the government that governs best is the government that governs least. And by these standards, we have set up a fabulous government in Iraq.
Take 1,776.
The government that governs best is the government that governs least.
All the plans within plans. All the plots within plots. A user once asked me, exactly who are the Illuminati? Hopefully if they watch this video, they will write these down.
I said it's a
Two little
celebration.
facts how to discover who's really whack, who's down with it, and who's really not, who's the underling, and who's the boss. The Illuminati, the enlightened ones, barbarians. I don't understand why does it seem that all this back to Atlanta somehow, my friends.
I said it's a celebration.
Lost continent, who knows where it's at? Why did it go? Perhaps the crossing of the planet.
Damn, I said it's a celebration.
Nibiru shapes the earth. Nibiru switches up the foes. Nibiru, where they come from. Nibiru, home of the tars.
I said it's a
You
celebration.
better open up your eyes, open up your ears, and hear. Do not to fear. For you said that you're the God of the universe. He will protect you from this unholy curse.
I said it's a celebration.
Demonic seeds planted with us. They're just a bunch of weeds. Understand my friends, they breed to destroy and deceive.
I said
We
it's a
gotta be
celebration.
smarter than them. We gotta see them coming. Now explain it, my friends. You look at the works of the ones who have the power, the chosen ones, the ones we elect, the ones we anoint, the ones who are appointed, the ones who are popes, the ones who are kings, also the things. Look at the emperors and the emperor. Look at all the intro, high priestess, high priest show, wizards and witches, demons alive. Understand the final plot.
I said it's a celebration.
For what it is, spiritual warfare mixed up kids with the physical realities too. The spirit's the same. Look at both sides of the coins. The yin and yang, you know it's the same. One cannot exist without the other. They're really uncovered brothers.
I said it's a celebration.
Better see the truth, understand the Illuminati's plot, my friends, before it's too late for you and yours. You be like the dinosaurs, extinct as extinct can be. Radiology reports shows the levels scratching 90.
government that governs least.
That is bad stuff on the 50 show. Still in the grass, still in our very
I
souls.
believe the government that
Atomical
governs
particle.
the government that governs least.
You better understand, yo. You better not pick me either. Sodium nitrate, oh, what a deceiver. They're gonna preserve the food for us. Why? Isn't there more cows to die? Maybe not, maybe so. Really knows. Illuminati, they know. Sodium nitrate equals you. So eat fresh for you know who. They eat the flesh of the people see. Understand me, this is reality.
I said it's a celebration.
Will shortly be beyond 2012. Gee, you better see it for what it really is. Full-scale invasion. Bring up your kids. Hit them sell. You're like pickled tomatoes. You're all gonna die. I wonder why. No one understands. No one really fights. No one celebration. Let's say no more. You demonic fucks. You better understand me. When you come to my house, it's on, baby. I already have been red listed.
I said it's
Under fire from critics who charge he's been blurring the lines between Iraq and 9/11. President Bush was forced to clarify yesterday.
No, we've had no evidence that Saddam Hussein was involved with the September the 11th. Now, what the Vice President said was that
celebration.
But Vice President said it was celebration, y'all. A celebration. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Sister Sandra, peace and power. Brown, peace and power. PJ Jones, peace and power. Good morning. Welcome to the show, all. Nibiru. What does it mean? You know, if we look throughout history and we see some of the patterns, even when we look at the magnetic pole shift in the Atlantic Ocean, you go down to the bedrock and they can see the way, like, I guess, certain minerals in the rocks is orientated. That the North Pole switch from the the magnetic pole switch from the north to the south, north to the south, north to the south, approximately like every 3,500 years. And for those who don't know, the Vatican, the Catholic Church, has a telescope in Hawaii called Lucifer. The name of the damn telescope facility, Lucifer. Look that up. They've been looking for Nibiru, the 10th planet, the crossing planet, the bearded planet, the red planet. They have been looking for this thing ever since that facility, and actually prior to that facility being built, but definitely ever since that facility was built. Mr. L, peace and power. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. Let's get into it, folks, because time is really drawing nigh.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Michael here with Twisted Truth and TwistedTruth.net. I will be brief. Title of the article, Vatican warns Trump, do not go to Nibiru. And I will read. The Vatican.
Hold on, before Michael from Twisted Truth reads. Remember, y'all, some have suggested that the reason why we have the different races on the earth is because of genetic alterations performed by the people who live on Nibiru. And I say people, and I use that term quite loosely. I often tell you, when we look at some of the strife and some of the true ills of our condition as humans on this planet, if you as an outside entity, would it not be in your interest to ensure such a capable and formidable species such as humanity is locked in self-hate? So we will never come together to actually have a unified front against the true tares from our perspective. Because don't forget, my friends, brothers and sisters, it's all just a matter of a perspective. If you're one of the Illuminati lackeys or goons, you're going to be all about Nibiru. because your masters gets their marching orders from them. But I know this is a lot for a lot of you guys to contemplate and understand. True, where you talk about, can we just stick to geopolitical problems? Can we just talk about reparations? Can we just talk about, oh, speaking of which, oh, that already happened. Dr. Short, I believe it was January 24th, yesterday, was holding a conference about sex trafficking. Smoke less, peace and power. I'm only sidekicking this because, I've always been trying to help those who would actually try to help the weakest people. And in our society, the weakest, most vulnerable segment is children. But it all ties to Nibiru anyhow, because many of these people are performing rudimentary or baseline sexual magic. The reason why our species is corrupted, spiritually, ethically, morally, is once again, if we were to ever unite, if humanity was to ever unite, we would be able to outmaneuver, outthink, outpace, outcreate all other species on our level throughout the universe. And they know this. But let's continue with this report. I don't want to get too carried away because I'm feeling the spirit today, y'all. I'm feeling the spirit today.
And last week issued an ominous warning to besieged American President Donald J. Trump. Do not go to Nibiru. All you will find there is death. According to a White House source who claims Trump received the message from a Vatican emissary who arrived in Washington early Friday afternoon. The message was delivered in a letter authored by Pope Francis and Vatican Secretary of State Pietro Parolin that directly referenced Trump's intent to send the U.S. Space Force on a fact-finding mission to the Nibiru system.
Hold on 1 second. Mongo, or ADE 2231. Peace and power, brother or sister, whatever applies. But welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Excellent question. Do you watch Project Blue Book rather on the History Channel? It's a good show. Unfortunately, no, I don't. I have communicated with John Lear on the subject. I've communicated with Jordan Maxwell on the subject. Also communicated with Paul Hellner on the subject of alien outside entities. And quite fashionably, I have a few shows on the main channel. I'm just talking to you personally because I haven't recognized your name around in chat, and always happy to have a new chatter. But please check out the main channel. There's so much. Actually, I'm going to, and I'm sorry, y'all, ever since I had the car crash the other day, I haven't been able to go through the playlist to organize it a little bit better. I'm so sorry. But my back, my knee is killing me. My insurance company is jerking me around. So there's a lot of stuff on the back scene that's really hindering. But today's show will go on without a hitch. Our children deserve a unified species. Now, let's just say that around, like every, 2,500 years, or I think, it should be 2,500 years, I believe. Before I say this, though, hold on 1 second. ADE 2231. If you haven't heard of this series, please check it out. It's Project Camelot by Carrie. I forget her last name, but if you was to go to YouTube, just type in Project Camelot and check out what Carrie does as far as a lot of now a lot of this stuff is older information, but it's still accurate. Brother Marty, peace and power. Tate, peace and power. Welcome to the show, y'all. We're talking about Nibiru. We're talking about the crossing planet today, fellas. All right, let's continue this because this is too important.
As reported last week.
Oh, and for my political people, the reason why this is so damn important, if they cut your ass a check, but your ass gets annihilated by these damn tariffs, what good will it do?
Trump and his secretive Space Force have embarked on an ambitious plan that will see a reverse-engineered alien craft zoom to the dark star and its orbiting planets. The stated goal is to determine why the dreadful celestial interloper has apparently stalled in space and not yet reached perigee. Vatican Jesuit spies implanted in the White House likely learned of Trump's plan and reported their findings to the Bishop of Rome, our source said, underpinning widespread belief that the Brotherhood of the Cruciform Sword, the Pope's personal espionage entity, had infiltrated White House security, and operatives insinuated themselves within Trump's inner circle. The letter's contents show the Vatican's tentacles stretch deep into the Oval Office, he added.
Cool Kim 21, welcome to the show. Peace and power. I'm glad you made it here. Do you guys hear what they are saying? While you're sitting there fixated on Russia, you're sitting there fixated on maybe the trade war, but you guys don't understand the Vatican, the Knights of Malta, Rosicrucians, Jesuits, has infiltrated all levels of all the major powers. Everyone's harping about, oh, a world government. We already have a world government. And the capital is Vatican City. Brother Gregory, peace and power. Welcome to the show. And for us who are actually original to this planet, who's not a part of the 13 bloodlines controlling this whole planet through systems, not by consent, but through systems, manipulation. H, welcome to the show. Peace and power. Greetings, my friend. We have to unite. What, do you want to continue, citizens, to go down? And when I say citizens, I mean fellow members to the human family. You are all citizens of humanity, whether you accept this fact or not. Our leadership has been debased. It has been corrupted. It has been converted into merely wardens on a prison planet. The prison guards, your politicians, your senators, your diplomats, they're all just wardens, ensuring the prisoners of earth, that is you and I, are never fulfilled, never unified. They systematically indoctrinate you and your children into these notions of nationalistic identities. You're not a human being. You're a citizen of this nation. You're a citizen of that nation. You're not a human being. Your blood that flows through you, brothers and sisters, the flesh and bones that support you, brothers and sisters, hear me now, was roaming this earth before any country, kingdom was founded. This planet is your guardian. It is your home. But folks, our home has been invaded by outsiders. Our home has been corrupted by knowledge and ideals that are founded in our very destruction. It would be as if humanity came across a planet ran by sentient bunny rabbits. These bunny rabbits can, live in huts. They communicate. We see them have certain traditions. But we decided, you know what? We want that planet. That planet has something. Hell, that planet has gold. We want this gold. Well, why not just go out in the universe? Blah, blah, blah. Because not only the gold is not really the main thing. The main thing is ensuring that this group or this entity, the species, does not evolve to threaten us. Now, we can use gold to get the people in our society to get motivated, provide them with access or transportation to said location so that they can start mining operations. But remember, kiddos, the main goal is to ensure that the species does not progress, does not evolve to become competitive on a cosmic level. The same is true with us. The reason why these outside entities are so interested, they don't really care about, there's nothing on Earth. Hear me now. There's nothing on Earth of value in a purely chemical sense, meaning you will find water, H2O, out there in the cosmos in the form of ice. You will find gold, platinum, all the elements on the periodic table is in vast abundance out there in space. But the one thing you will not find, except for on planet Earth and other little colonies that brothers and sisters who have been snatched off this planet are basically in slavery right now. But that's a totally different trip. Let's just stick to this one. The most valuable component on this planet is the human, the man, the woman, and the child. We are what is feared. They fear the potential in us. And boy, brothers and sisters, we have some great potential. If I had more time, and if I had some people who I talk to and they listen to the show, if they would come back on, it'd be awesome. Because there's some things that need to be said about our ancient capabilities that has not been said. Damn it, people. You guys are not merely the salt of this prison planet, but you could potentially become the salt, the spice of the universe. But let's continue with Mike's report.
The correspondence reminded Trump that the Vatican considers Nibiru its eminent domain and has no tolerance for meddlesome outsiders who violate the sanctity it attaches to Nibiru. It repeated an admonition given to Trump in 2017 when he briefly considered revealing the Nibiru realities to the American public. Warn the world about Nibiru at your own peril.
Bam! There it is, right there. Sister Sandra. Sister, thank you, Mosai. The feminine and masculine has not yet been realized. You know reason why? Because they see, this is how they crack the fucking seed before the seed can germinate. They try to get the masculine to dominate the feminine or the feminine to dominate the masculine instead of both of them working together to create the future. The only way you have babies, the only way every single one of you came into existence is quite literally on the equal plane of sexual expression of love and unity between man and woman. When your mother and father came together, you, my friend, were in the mix. And if you have a twin brother or sister, they were in the mix as well. Oh no, here we go. They're trying to hit me up on the phone tip. I'm not gonna let that happen. You're not gonna Rudy Poot this show. Oh, by the way, yesterday's program, that most powerful program, was basically copyright banned. I don't know. Hold on. We're gonna get back. I want I want to show you guys this while it's on my mind. I'm being totally moved by the spirit right now. I'm just totally on autopilot. I'm just going along. I'm like a reed in the wind that blows and bends in the wind. All right, let's go right here to the studio. I'm going to show you guys behind the scenes anyway. I don't care. Most YouTube channels will never show you the behind the scenes. But because this is the people's damn show, yeah, I'm running it. I'm the mouthpiece, but really, this is the people's show. Let's take off the filter. I think we can take off the filter on this one. All right, let's jump down here to videos. But we're going to get back to this. I just want to let you guys know if this thing disappears, a lot of these live shows, if you're not here on the live show, the shit will disappear. And that's just what it is. Hold on, let me see if you can see that. Okay, there. Yeah, see this right here? Ineligible. This video is found to contain copyright materials. The copyright owner is allowing its use by showing ads on the video. Ain't that a bitch? So not only do you guys have to have insufferable ads, we don't even get credit for it over here on TPIM SR Live. I'm so terribly sorry, brothers and sisters. I will do better to ensure that we had no more copyright issues with the channel, because there's people who need to hear this information. There's people who are not going to go to all these different YouTube channels or different articles on the internet in general. They're just going to acquiesce to the lies and bullshit. But let's get back. Let's get back to the video. I got to put the little... Uh-oh. Maybe I can use this side. Maybe this side's better. It's like some of these sides are better on this filtered deal, which is basically just a pair of sunglasses. All right. Let's continue this.
It said, the unholy city has now expanded on that threat. Go to Nibiru and you will find only death. No man can reach Nibiru, and its inhabitants will not welcome foreigners. That which is and what is on Nibiru is not meant for any man, including you, Mr. President, to explore, the letter purportedly said.
All I heard from that letter is basically, Mr. President, we are slaves to Nibiru. They are our true masters, and you better not go messing with them. It's almost like their version of heaven. If you took out Christ, no one can get to heaven, right? Seriously, if you look at Christian doctrine, you took out the concept of Jesus Christ, no one would be able to make it to heaven because no one's righteous enough. Everyone falls short. Remember, it's written, everyone falls short of the glory of God. I want you guys to hear this again. Everyone falls short of the glory of God. Remember that. Now listen to what this letter says.
Including you, Mr. President, to explore, the letter purportedly said. Including you, foreigners, that which is and what is on Nibiru is not meant for any man, including you, Mr. President, to explore, the letter purportedly said.
Sister Sandra coming with the fire today. Hopefully you guys have on your asbestos panties, because the fire is coming today. Instead, all of us are viewed as animals, yet male and female. We have to understand what Mr. L is saying. Check this out, y'all. Feminism is being pushed hard into this society. Exactly. Just like masculinity was pushed hard into the society. You can't have a society without both, y'all. You need the man to defend the women and children, to put them on that damn lifeboat and send them to safety. We die, brothers. That's our lot. But the women's and the babies live. The feminine is supposed to nurture and support the strength which is the man. Support the intellectual development of the children, of the babies, of the future. This is what your life was meant to be experienced. You was not meant to be worried about systems of control. The wheel, the ship that we are on, is broken. It's broken. Let's continue.
Trump's astringent response alarmed the Vatican courier who had brought the Pope's message to Washington. Trump passed a letter to VP Pence, directing him to feed it into a shredder, and unceremoniously banished the Vatican agent from the White House, demanding that neither he nor any other Vatican official again set foot on White House soil. The Vatican is a sore loser. They're losing big time. Our Space Force is really, really great. It's perfect. A perfect Space Force. Who does that guy think he is? The only foreign power I listen to is Benny, his nickname, Trump's nickname for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, not some crooked guy in Rome, Trump allegedly told Pence, who said the president's linguistic tirade was an acceptable measured response to Vatican interference. Not all the...
And let that be a lesson, y'all. You know, when you see President Trump, do a Google search, don't believe me. President Trump and the Third Temple in Israel. President Trump and the Third Temple in Israel. It will be built, more likely this year. So all my Zionist brothers and sisters, your prophecy, you know, sort of like Star Wars, remember? Anakin it was written that he's going to bring, you know, balance to the Force. It's quite literally, they use the same old gag over and over. And it's because of our condition by the system, we fall for it over and over. They don't even have to change the damn script. There's always a prophecy. Here's the script, kiddos. There's always a prophecy. And the people who are in power now are always threatened by said prophecy. And because of mismanagement and bumbling within the current system or regime, the prophecy is always fulfilled. But as you look at the trajectory of the prophecy and you take yourself out of the experience and you look at who's really benefit, fuck the money. It has nothing to do with the money. It has everything to do with the body, the DNA, the genes. If you look at the book, it is written, only a remnant of humanity will exist. So that's letting you know whatever energy is being put into that mission, the outcome is already foretold. There's going to be a remnant. If I was to take your clothing right now, brothers and sisters, whatever you're wearing, and I did something to you, and I said there's just going to be a remnant of your garment left. That means if you start off with pants and shirt, there's just going to be just a couple pieces of shredded cloth. Georgia Guidestones, baby. Georgia Guidestones. 7.5 billion. How many souls are on this earth? Who really knows? To 500 million. That's in stone, baby, in Georgia. 500 million. That's all they want. We have to turn our backs on the system. If not, we are going to be accessories to our own demise. Let's continue.
The president's men, however, were ebullient at Trump's sapient disavowal of Roman authority. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo urged caution, saying war with Rome might fracture America's relationship with its allies.
And do you think Pompeo might be one of them Jesuit spies? I'm sure Pompeo kisses the ring. You know, for those who are not politically astute, the reason why a lot of these evangelicals really dig Trump, because they can understand his he has love for the Catholics, no doubt, but he's not one of their boys. He's rolling with the Protestant, well, dare I say it, when we use system terms, the white man's religion. Trump was, I'm telling you right now, in Trump's eyes, Adam and Eve were white. Jesus was white. King David was white. Moses was white. And so if Moses was white, that means that Pharaoh had to be white, because good and well, you can't pass as Pharaoh's grandson looking like anything else but Pharaoh. What a mess we find ourselves in. You also can Google this. Scientist discovers a tear in the Milky Way galaxy. Like a tear in time and space. Now, some have suggested that since the creation of the Large Hadron Collider, that in some ways it is emitting some sort of energy pulse that's repelling Nibiru. Now, I can neither confirm nor deny that. And the reason why they did these wicked, well, to the uninitiated, they'll look like wicked rituals outside. That's because they already know the game. The people who put this system together don't want it to come to an end, because when Nibiru comes back, it's reset time on all levels. Those who are left behind, the remnant of humanity that's left behind, that has to rebuild in various parts of the world. Why do you think you find all these hidden tunnels all over? You look in Cambodia, you look in Mexico, you look in Egypt, you find all these tunnel systems underneath all these vast monolithic structures, or even World Heritage foundations. They always have catacombs underneath. It's as if like 2,000 years from now, they'll find Cheyenne Mountain, NORAD command, the base built in the mountains. But, they'll find that, and then they'll build another something on top of it. This is what we have to deal with. Now, you're never going to get this from a book, brothers and sisters. You're never going to get this from a human that's not connected to the source. As we go down the road, as quite literally you begin to see brothers and sisters drop around you, remember this: it was already foretold and was already written. Only a remnant of humanity will survive. I'm not saying that's truth, but what I am saying is the people who believe that to be truth are making it happen. The people who believe the prophecy facilitate the conclusion of said prophecy. Brothers and sisters, let's continue.
Trump responded with a dismissive wave of his hand, saying, "I'm the president. I make the decisions. I don't care if we have to send 100 ships. We're going to learn. We're going to learn the truth about this Nibiru."
So does that enlighten you? John Lear came on this show and told you we have had spaceships since the damn the Space Force is nothing new. So when we start seeing the war in space, when you start going out there on your porch, on your land, on your apartment deck, out there in the cities, on the roof deck, don't worry, baby, because a light pollution won't drown out this light coming our way. So now when you see the war in space, you will understand. Oh, you won't comprehend these are our warriors fighting Irubu. You won't comprehend that at all. You just, oh, this is the Space Force, and they're doing what Space Force does. How timely. How timely, is it not? How timely. The video from the Nimitz comes out showing maneuvers that would be physiologically impossible in the human form. There's no such thing as outer space, Mr. L. Mr. L, you really do want this channel banned, don't you? There's a couple of things that get you in trouble right now. You start telling people the truth about the condition of the world, the truth about the system of control, then yeah, you're a threat. I only tell what I believe will be pertinent enough for you, brothers and sisters, to start your journey, to start researching for yourself, to start finding out these truths. And once again, brothers and sisters, those of you who are truly uninitiated to some of the topics we're talking about on this channel, we discuss on this show. Once you start learning, please, please, please do not share what you learn with other people who are uninitiated. Please, for your own safety, so that you can keep your loved ones' relationship. Because some people, you come at them with the truth, your relationship with them is over. All I ask is that you do your own research and you prepare. If you truly love your family, if you truly love your friends, then you need to prepare and not be a burden when it's time to roll out, but be an asset to the team. You all should be right now making tons and tons of network connections, having safe houses, having stash spots for weaponry, having food, more importantly, life straws tucked away in the woods. You need to be preparing. Hold on, Mr. M. Werner von Braun was the creator of NASA. Yes, and he was one of the people of the paperclip crowd. He's the paperclip club. The little CIA, well, OSS operation called Operation Paperclip. It funneled the scientists. And it's funny that Mr. L brings up von Braun, because I'm quite sure he did it with the hopes that I would elaborate to when von Braun was asked. So exactly how did you guys do it? How did the Nazi scientists make all these tremendous leap in scientific knowledge? And he looked at old boy and said, we had help. We had help. They let you know. They've been letting you know with their dystopian movies, with the scandals and corruption and day-to-day political situations. They're letting you know this thing's so corrupt in the base. You are not alone, friends. You've never been alone, and you will never be alone. There's no such thing as loneliness outside the realm of self-deceit. Now, once you deceive yourself, in other words, whenever someone says, I am lonely, that is a proclamation of saying, I am self-deceived. That's how those who are in the know what you're about, just by the way you talk. German scientists worshipped the false angels, aka aliens. Well, I hate to burst your bubble, Mr. L, but so do most of the uninitiated. Most of your philosophies, most of your religions comes directly from those who have the knowledge. Those who would take you out of your primitive state, dust you off, and teach you how to refine and manipulate the resources around you. This is what this thing's always been about. It hasn't been about one race is superior than the other. It has been about one group of people have more contact with people who have real knowledge. And even the so-called brilliant shit we get, it's like peanuts to them. That's why I'm saying if you go with the intent that you right now in this present state, even though, brothers and sisters, you have the potential to be on their level. But if you go in this present state trying to mess with them, this is what this letter from the Pope is telling President Trump. You're going to get slobbed up, dude. You're going to get mopped up like a shitty fucking floor. Am I being defeatist? Yeah, I'm being a realist because I don't want to see you guys destroyed utterly. And when I get out of this place, I tell you one thing. I'm going to track down, I'm just using terms that we all can understand here. I'm going to track down the supervisor to my personal case or my caseworker, and I'm going to articulate to them what's going on down here on earth. The racism, the hate, the indoctrination, as if upper management doesn't know about this. We have better prepare ourselves for the reality that not only are we not alone in this universe, but we're a child without parents to protect us. We are quite literally abandoned children. Now we're still at the mercy of nature, which some says is our mother. And we still have the longing for the absentee father, which some would say is the mysterious, spooky God that's never around. But if you look at those two entities, what that individual's ultimately saying is, I am an abandoned child. I know I have a mother and I know I have a father out there, but I can't really commune with them. And that's just on an individual, personalized level. There's always those of us who do have a relationship with mother, or do have a relationship with father, or do have a relationship with both mother and father. But they're absolutely rare. Most of us, like I said, are abandoned children trying to make the best of a tragic arrangement. There's no way to look at this. You were born into a situation that the people who gave birth to you, nurture you, if you even had them in your life, were destined to die. And then you yourself, if you subscribe to natural law and you marry the opposite sex that you yourself were born as, and you come together in love and unity, even you will perish. That's why we have justification for male and female, my brothers and sisters. Because if we were truly an eternal race, then truly we would have no need for sex. We would have no need for procreation measures. Now, I know the younger viewers are like, what are you talking about, True? Sex is fucking everything. Brother and sister, trust me. Once you grow up a little bit, you'll realize sex is just a tool. Everything is having a place to operate. Everything is having transportation, insurance, food in your belly, means to get more food. That is what it's really about in the system of life as we see it. If you go through life chasing sex and that's your ultimate expression of success, ultimately what you're facing is a lifetime of disappointment and sorrow, disease, frustration, and disappointment. But if, like anything else, you use sex as the proper tool it should be, you're going to find fulfillment and joy and happiness and completion because you will have done your duty. You will have procreated the next generation to take the place of you and the generations that came before you. You see, a lot of times it's all about the masters of the plantation don't want the slaves to die. Now, you certainly don't want the slaves to be free, but you really don't want them to die. You want them to keep procreating so that your children will have slaves. It's not the money and the jewels that you hand down. It's the power and control. And if you don't have no one to have power over or to have control of, then that inheritance no longer exists. The DNA of Earth. Oh my God. As above, so too below. As above, so too below. If we enslave each other down here, then we are slaves above. Look at most, if not all, interpretations of the next life to come involves you serving something for eternity. It involves you serving something for eternity. That's not freedom. That's not liberation. That's eternal enslavement. My friends, is it not time for us to be free? Is it not time for us, and forgive my, but is it not time for us to serve us? To reconciliate the anger and hate amongst ourselves, to solidify this day a true union of mind and flesh, to facilitate liberations for generations to come, free of the psychological systems of oppression that is only put there so that you self-police yourself and will never express the full potentiality of your being. Is it not time today? Woo. Oh man, yeah. Normally I meditate before I come on the show. And I kind of take notes. But it's almost like right now you guys are getting a direct link. I have to go, y'all. Wow, I have to go. Too much is hitting me right now. I want to thank you. Thank you for all of you who has been sending me your love, your blessing, your positive energy, your spirit. Thank you. Thank you so much. I've had a hard way to go here past few months. But I know my purpose on the show is making a difference. The ripples. Baby, we are international. TPIM SR Live, global, y'all. And it's because of you, listener. It's because of you, chatter. And it's because of you, brother and sister of humanity. Thank you. There's such little time. And I'm not saying that we're going to be successful. Once the plague once the temple and once the mysteries are unveiled, it might just be too overwhelming. And some of us may go into such utter despair that they actually believe transcending to the other plane of existence will be the answer. I'm telling you, if we don't take care of it here, it'll be waiting for us there. As above, so too below. This concludes TPIM SR Live for today. Today's date is January 25th, 2020, the year of our Lord. As always, brothers and sisters, I ask you, live your life with integrity, without hate, envy, or greed. Brothers and sisters, please, 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 let's try to be kinder to one another. Peace in our power, unity in our victory, dignity in our respect, liberation, humanity. I'm out.